starts our next adventure. We've upped anchor at Norfolk and we're heading out to Hampton Roads to enter the Chesapeake Bay. And Lindy's heard some interesting chatter on the radio ahead of us. This Hampton Roads is the busiest shipping channel that we will have ever been in. So what'd you hear, Lindy?
A Navy warship is headed out to sea, and under no circumstances should you try to cross the bow of the Navy warship.
Should be interesting.
Luckily, the Navy warship stayed out of sight well in front of us, but we did come across lots of big ship traffic as we exited the area.
Here we've got a big container ship just moved into view, going in front of us, maybe turning the corner to come in here. I'll have to watch out for him.
Our 3.5 months touring the East Coast on the ICW had been awesome, but it was time for a change to the wide open Chesapeake, and to get further north as it was June 30th and the thick of hurricane season was coming.
Here we came by this last bit of warships at dock, and now we've got our first look at the Chesapeake, right out there.
We motored into the Chesapeake on a dead calm, flat, windless day. It was a swelteringly hot time of year, but the expanse of water was beautiful nonetheless. What we would learn is that cruising the Chesapeake meant exploring the thousands of beautiful protected anchorages and charming little cities in the many bays and rivers that branch off of this huge body of water. Our first encounter was Mobjack Bay, where we headed in and up the East River to an awesome anchorage surrounded by nature.
It's our first anchorage in the Chesapeake. We're here on the East River, just off Mobjack Bay. Lindy's getting the anchor ready out here. All right. So we've spent the afternoon just reading and sitting around. I've jumped in the water a few times. It's pretty warm. It's actually cooled down and we've had a nice breeze all day. The sun's going down now, so that means the full moon will be up before too long, which I'm excited about. I got the grill going. Lindy, what do you got going on down here?
I'm cooking some broccoli, and I did some smashed potatoes, where you boil them and then put them on the pan and squish them and then put them in the oven so they get crispy edges.
Dinner time. Boy, this looks pretty good. What you got there? Some of the barbecue sauce from Jeff?
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff. We've already opened this one back in South Carolina. It's delish. I'm about to put it all up on my pork chop. So we're motor sailing. We're headed for Gwynns Island, where there's going to be an anchorage next to a beach. So we're planning on hanging out at the beach and pumping up the paddle boards and playing in the water. It's our first sailing on the Chesapeake. Didn't think there was going to be enough wind today, but picked up a little bit and we're able to scoot along.
After a half-day's sail, we headed around to the inside of Gwynns Island at the base of the Rappahannock River.
Okay, anchorage number 2 of the Chesapeake. We're here at Gwynns Island, and there's a little beach right here that we're going to paddleboard to and hang out on. All right, Lindy's getting ready for some paddleboarding.
This was one of the hottest times we had experienced this year, so some time playing in the water was necessary.
Looks pretty awesome. There's the Chesapeake Bay, or just right on the other side of this little stretch of sand. So Lindy's making some dish called sticky chicken. She's had it in the Wonder Bag all day. I've been really excited about it. Ooh, she's plating it up. What kind of noodles are those, Lindy?
Soba noodles.
Soba noodles? Mmm. Okay, so we decided to stay here an extra day, and we're going to paddle over to the beach again for the afternoon.
It was another hot one a couple of days before the 4th of July, and someone had planted this big American flag right at the tip of our gorgeous beach. By this point, it was safe to say that we knew we were going to love our time in the Chesapeake. Leaving Gwynns Island, we headed to the next river just north of the Potomac, the Rappahannock. It was so hot, we tried inventing new ways of staying cool on holiday. The Rappahannock is the real gem of this lower western section of the Chesapeake. A large river lined with tons of little rivers filled with beautiful anchorages and cool, quaint towns. We headed up Carter Creek to an awesome anchorage at the city of Irvington where we would spend the 4th of July. We spent a couple of days wandering around town, watched an awesome fireworks show over the water, and even saw a small town 4th of July parade. After a fun time in Irvington, we headed across the Rappahannock on a flat, calm, hot day to anchor at the little town of Urbanna. We set the anchor, then spent the afternoon touring another beautiful little off-the-beaten-path city of the Chesapeake. So after a couple of motoring days touring the Rappahannock
river. We're now sailing back downriver to Deltaville, and we've got a good sailing day. We're beam reaching here in about 13 knots, makes it where we can do our favorite, just put the head sail up and not even mess with the main, and we're making good time. And yeah, the Rappahannock, beautiful place.
We sailed to Deltaville at the mouth of the Rappahannock to prep the boat and wait for weather a couple of days for our next jaunt into the Chesapeake and head towards the Potomac River.
Right, we've made it to Dozier's Regatta Point Marina in Deltaville. Got tied up here. We've got up full sails, and we're just going to tack out into the Chesapeake Bay and then make a big tack back towards Reedville, which is kind of back that way.
Also, Zach is a very distracted sailor when he gets the camera out.
I know. Sometimes documenting makes me not the best sailor in the world.
It was great right before he turned on the camera.
That's right. I could use the autopilot. I think I'll do that here. Oh, they're right behind us. Hey, dolphins.
It would be a long day's sail from Deltaville all the way into the Potomac, so we did a stopover in this nice little anchorage in the fishing town of Reedville. Luckily, the wind was blowing away from the fish oil pill factory that we were anchored next to. We motored out on another hot, still day that sort of defines the weather in the summer on the Chesapeake. The good news is that we weren't seeing any of the uncomfortable or dangerous conditions that the Chesapeake is also known for during high wind events like storms or fronts.
So just past that point there is the mouth of the Potomac. It's a really wide river. I can't even see the other side. The other point of the mouth of the river is over 11 miles away right now. So we're going around the shoals that come out from this point, and we'll be entering the Potomac. So right now, we're crossing into the mouth of the Potomac. Here's the shoreline over here. We've made our way across to the north side of the Potomac. Sailing off the Potomac into the St. Mary's River. Pretty awesome. I love turning that engine off. All right, we're putting down the anchor here, St. Mary's City.
We spent the afternoon wandering around historic St. Mary's City before resting up to begin our 90-mile journey up the mighty Potomac to Washington, D.C.